Damn it. Well, this live stream was on the wrong channel. Guess that explains a few things. So this is my first time really trying to go live for real. But I'm like, how do I share these videos with people? So I finally figured that out. Learn my video editing workflow live now. I use Multicam techniques, auto sync, picture and more. Check it out. So I've got the link. I've got my Grammarly ready to go so I don't make stupid mistakes. Looks like we're good. And I'm gonna say share this. Please share. I doubt I'll get many people on here, especially on Facebook. I should have copied that so I could throw it on Twitter as well. So let's do that. Let's just, this is part of the workflow, right? You've got to get an audience of some sort. So throw it on Facebook. I'm just gonna go ahead and recopy this. I'll throw some hashtags on my Twitter account. So like video editing, I'll just make that into one word. Throw a little hashtag in there. Workflow sounds fun. I should do research on like what hashtags get more likes and views and whatnot. So let me pull over my live stream as well. So it's all here. You can see this is my live stream setup. To get the actual URL so that other people can follow this, I have to actually click on this little share button, which actually took me a while to figure out. Okay, cool, I got all these options. So I'm just gonna copy that. I'm gonna bring this back over to my other screen so you don't have to see it, but I kinda wanted to show you where I'm getting the URL from. So we'll do this. Let's add some Final Cut Pro in here. Final Cut Pro X, Final Cut Pro, Final Cut Pro, and Final Cut Pro X. Video, something like that. Maybe we'll catch a few people that want to check this stuff out. If not, that's cool too. This is a good trial run. All right, so I've got Twitter and Facebook. I'm not really too big on Instagram and anything else. So now that that's taken care of, we can close both of these. If I have to bring up a URL again, I'll go ahead and do that. But now we're back into a timeline, and I have my clips. I've got everything set up, but I'm actually going to start a new project in just a moment. I'll give everybody just a few minutes more to check in, see if they want to join me in this live editing session. So this is software that I purchased because I know that it just works for my MacBook Pro. Final Cut Pro, the two options that I was picking was Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere without actually editing at all. So I've never edited before, and I was doing the research, and it really seemed like Final Cut Pro is good for like the layman YouTube blogger, vlogger. It does almost everything that I need it to do, and it's extremely efficient, elaborate. It has templates, it has certain add-ins that you can automate a bunch of stuff. Adobe Premiere seems like a little bit more professional, but you have to pay a $30 a month fee, and I just really like the Mac ecosystem. So I literally, if I take a video with my iPhone, I press one button, it uploads it to my computer, boom, it's right into my workflow, and my camera's connected directly to my computer. I click one button, download, boom, it's there, and I'll show you how I auto sync and get all that stuff figured out. I'll go a little slower than my normal workflow, but I kind of want to make this into a real deal. This is how I work, right? Now, don't get me wrong, I don't edit very often, but I'm trying to get into it more. So we probably have nobody that's going to be live on here. But even so, I'm going to get going here in just another minute. Let's see what else I can talk about. So anyway, some of my equipment is a MacBook Pro. I've got dual monitors now connected to it through a Dell docking station. I use the Magic Trackpad 2, which I love. I just bought this probably 3 weeks ago. I love it because before I was using a regular mouse or my actual MacBook trackpad. but that wasn't working very well because sometimes I close my MacBook. Having 3 screens open while video editing, while recording, while streaming, I'm surprised it can do it so easily, but it does. But sometimes I shut my lid, and then I don't have a mouse pad, so I had to buy a separate Magic mouse pad, trackpad too. So we're gonna get into some fancy editing here. It's a really short. I just recorded it maybe 30 minutes ago. Basically, a couple takes, no problem. A continuous stream. I use my DSLR, my Canon 90D. I'm just learning how to use that now. I did not use multiple cameras, but we're going to use a multicam technique when we edit this. That's going to be pretty cool. All right, well, let's just get right into it because we will get started and we'll go from there. We're going to start a whole new project. So I'm going to do, for every single project that I do, I create a new library because I need things to be really clean and put into the same spot. And I am not that organized with going between libraries. So I just create a whole new library and I always put it on my SSD card. Now my SSD flies. It's like the super fast SSD, you can't beat it, right? So I go into my SSD and that's where I create it. I create it under movies. So you can see all my libraries here already and they take up a lot of space. So that's really why I want to put it on an SSD. You're talking, if you have a 20-minute video or a multicam 20-minute video with some effects and all that, you're going to get upwards of 120 gigabytes of working space for your library. So I'll show you a couple more important tips about cleaning that up when you're done with your project, because of that 120 gigs, you're only going to end up needing like 3 or 4 gigs to actually produce the rendered output. But it saves all those optimized media files so you can go back and edit really quickly, and we kind of don't need that once it's rendered and pushed out to the YouTube world and the Facebook world. So that's why they take up a lot of space when you actually work in these files. So I'm going to call this is a really simple tip that I did earlier. I recorded how to reattach a tab on Chrome. So simple, right? So I'm going to put reattach tab in Chrome. And the reason why I want to make these titles significant is because any type of automation I can do where, oh, if it's already called that in the project, well, when I upload it to YouTube, that's already in the name. So you got to think about things like that. So now I created the library. Now let's create a new project. File, new project. And in this project, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say, and I'm going to try to put all my keywords and what my YouTube would be so that it's, again, a little bit more efficient. There's nothing worse than having to redo things over and over again. So reattach tabs using Chrome. Maybe we can add a little bit more of a reattach tabs. I'm going to say pro tip, reattach tabs using Chrome. You know, some people just don't know that's possible, and there we go. So we create the project. Now we have a blank slate. I mean, this is blank. All right, so a couple more key things that I do is I do keep a couple libraries open on my left-hand side here. So we just created this one called reattach whatever, right? But I also have a couple other tabs open or libraries open. I keep one open because I already have pre-built things that I can steal from there and pull and drag and drop to my new library. I'll show you that in a few minutes. All right, so we have no items over here yet, but let's go ahead and open up our Finder, and I'll drag and drop what I have over there. So here's my Finder. Now I just recorded this on OBS, so let's go to, so over here on my left-hand side, I have shortcuts, right? So things that I always go to, I have them over here, so I don't have to go find them through a buried directory structure, right? So I know my OBS recordings are here, and they're sorted by order. I know that this is the one that I just recorded, so I recorded my screen and my audio with this, with my Blue Yeti mic. I also don't like my clips to show the 30-second clips here, so I lower this down to 0 so I can just see the file. That's the way I like it, and that's the way it's going to be. All right, so let's go back to Finder. So I also, once I was completely done with my OBS, I also downloaded my DSLR footage, which was pointing at me, just like you're seeing now. So it's the same camera, except this is a live view of my camera. The actual content of my camera is much more better than what you're seeing now. But I have those automatically go to, as soon as it's done, click one button and it goes into my pictures here, and then it goes into the folder structure as so. As you can see, well, let's see it this way. I basically, it's by date, so there's the 15th, but I also know that that 2.76 gigabyte one is the one that I want, because I know that this one is, I just accidentally clicked play. So I want that, so all we have to do is drag this over here. I should name these on my actual camera so that I don't have to deal with MVI0111, so I'll do that later, but that's coming up. So, all right, you think that it's just as simple as drag and drop and play with it. Right, that's the beginner method, right? I feel like I've graduated to a new level here. I want to show you my new technique. First, let me, I don't, hopefully you can hear this, but by giving you this simple. See, the audio there is terrible, but over here I actually capture the audio with my Blue Yeti. Today I am going to show you how to increase your workflow just a little bit, much cleaner. Hopefully you guys can hear that, but it's much cleaner. And so I don't want the audio from here, I want the audio from here. Right, but I want different views. Now I want to be able to switch between different views really fast. So here's where some of the cool things come in to play. So let's start with, I want to auto synchronize these two so that they have the same, they're lined up. Right, because I hit play on my OBS before I hit play on my camera, so they're off by a little bit, right? It's not like I can hit play on both at the same exact time. So I used to fiddle with the timelines and zoom in and get the waveforms all straightened out until I realized, boy, that was such a waste of time. Hit command and hit both of these files, right? Right click and just go to Synchronize Clips. Wow, right? So I'm gonna call this sync me, or sync mark, right? Because I want to do this twice actually. So I'm gonna synchronize them. Watch how fast this is. Done. That was quick, right? So now you only see my screen, but what I do is I double click on it to edit this, and I say, all right, well, first of all, so this little gap right here, I don't know, let me zoom in on it for you. That's because I didn't hit record on this top one until, 2 seconds in. So I'm gonna hit the blade tool by hitting B. I'm gonna click right here. I'm gonna delete this because I know I don't want it. So I'm making these the same exact size is basically what I'm doing. Then I go all the way to the other end, and you see I hit stop on one before I hit stop on the other. Blade tool, chop it right here. Oh, and see how it like connects, it snaps? Oh, that's such a really good feature of Final Cut Pro. So it snaps to the places where it thinks that you want to snap to, and it's really good at predicting that. Like, I love it, love it, love it. So I'm gonna get rid of this too. So now they're the same exact size, I don't have to worry about anything. But like I said, I don't want the audio on me, the bottom one here. So all I do is I just lower this down to negative infinity decibels, essentially just getting rid of it, right? So now when I hit play, I only have the audio from the top, right? But I also said that I wanted to, I called this one sync mark, so I really just want me. I want me on the top. So I'm gonna drag this down to the bottom, and now we have just me on top with the audio from the bottom one. Now I hit this little backspace here, basically. I go back. I've edited this synchronized clip already, so that this synchronized clip is all just me, right? But now I want to go beyond that. I want, let's say I want to synchronize these again. This might be a waste of space. I don't know. Synchronize clips again. Takes 2 seconds. I'm going to call this one sync screen, right? Simple as that. 2 seconds later, I've got this. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to double click on it, and I'm going to edit this one, right? Now this one, the screen's already on top, which is fine, but I'm still going to blade it and chop off the extras. That way they're the same size. So we have that, and I also want to get rid of the audio from the bottom one. So that's gone. And that's it. So there's 2 views I have right now. I have a view of me, and I have a view of just a screen. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of stuff we have to edit. I don't want to go in and edit each one separately. That's stupid. That'll take too long, right? So let's do a multicam edit. But not yet. I also want a picture-in-picture. I want me sometimes on the bottom right, and me sometimes not, and me sometimes full screen. I want all of that. I want everything because I'm greedy. So let's do this one more time. I'm going to take this one and this one. I'm going to synchronize them one more time. It seems what I'm doing now is I'm preparing for a very extremely efficient workflow. So once I'm done with this last one, which I'm taking my time because I'm talking you through it, but it really takes like 15 seconds to do this 3 times. So now I'm going to call this one a picture-in-picture. Picture-in-picture synced. And so, and as you can see, there's a little checkbox up there. Hopefully you can see it. It says use audio for synchronization. All right, so now I have 3 views. Essentially, this is 3 different cameras looking at me. So what do I want to do? I want to do a multicam edit. Multicam edits makes your workflow so nice. All right, so let's do that. I'm going to grab this clip, which is a compound clip. It's synchronized. It's multiple things. I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to grab this one. Right click, and I'm going to do new multicam clip. And I'm only going to use one multicam, so I'll just call it multicam. That's it. All right, hit OK on that. Now we have it. So now I want to start, it says not enough disk space, right? So this takes up a huge amount of disk space. There's enough disk space to work it. It just can't optimize the media files because like I said, it takes hundreds of gigabytes of space typically to do some of this stuff. And I've only got about 100 gig on my SSD, 100 gig on my computer left. So, but that's fine. My computer's fast enough that it doesn't need to optimize all the media. So hit OK. It's perfectly fine. So I've got this multicam clip here now, which contains all of these compound clips that were already synchronized. And the multicam, when you put it together, it actually synchronizes them as well. So if I double click on the multicam clip, you're going to see, and I haven't showed you anything yet, so relax just a moment. See there's still gaps here because I bladed them differently and whatnot. Now up here, you can choose your main monitor and your main audio. I want my audio, so I don't have to minimize the audio on these ones, the decibels. They're all the same audio, remember, because I synchronized the same clips and I grabbed only the same audio, so don't worry about that. All right, so I don't have to mute these or anything, so don't sweat that. I just wanted to show you that this is what the multicam clip looks like, and it puts in the gaps for you. It's fine. So let's go ahead and hit back because I don't want to edit the multicam clip like that yet. So what I want to do is I want to drag the multicam clip down, and now what you're going to see, and see how fast this is, I'm already able to edit right now. You're going to see that it only shows my screen, and that's not what I wanted, right? So that's fine. There's a shortcut key, or you can go to the view or the window. No, view. I know the shortcut. I actually don't know where to find it on here, but there's a multi-angle editor. View, show in viewer, angles, right? So Command-Shift-7. I show my angles here. I don't need this to be, I don't need, let's minimize this a little bit, give you some more. I think this is Command-4. I forget these. Yeah, I forget the shortcuts for a lot of it. I'm just learning this stuff now. But as you can see, I have one picture here, and I have 3 camera angles here to choose from. And see that little blade tool that I have? That blade tool allows me to chop and switch between angles. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna hit play. I know that I'm not gonna use the first part of this, so I'm already gonna click on the blade tool. And I'm gonna wait until I get to the point where, all right. Right into it. No. Usually takes me a couple takes. All right, today we're going to talk about increasing your workflow with a very simple tip that I didn't know about till recently, so I wanted to share it with you. This would be like less than 2-minute video, so watch this video and I'm going to show you how to make your tab life a little easier in Chrome. See, I'm not even sure if that was a good one or not. Nope, so typically this is how I start off my edits. Welcome back, everybody. Today I am going to show you how to increase your workflow just a little bit by giving you this simple... Welcome back. I hate saying welcome back. I'm like, oh, I feel like a YouTuber. Which I am, but still, I feel like a YouTuber. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. No, not welcome back, everybody. I talk to myself quite a bit. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to show you a quick tip to increase your workflow just a little bit. It's a tip I didn't know about, but it's very simple. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to clip right here, hit the letter A, click here, hit backspace, done. See how short this is, though? This is a really short video. It's 2 minutes. And that's with some editing I still have to do. So let's go ahead and click on the beginning again. And what I want to do is show my face. So I'm going to click on my face, and you'll see now my face is here in the viewer. So I click on that, and anytime I want to switch views... Hey, welcome back. I'm going to show you a quick tip to increase your workflow just a little bit. It's a tip I didn't know about, but it's very simple, and it's effective, and I wish that I learned it a long time ago. The simple tip that I'm going to show you is how to reattach a tab in Chrome after you've already detached it. So stay tuned. So stay tuned. That was key, right? So what I want to do is I want to put a break right here. I'm going to cut this out. I also don't want things after it. So let's go ahead and see when I start up again. Okay, so So I jump right back into it. I want to go ahead and just delete this completely out, right? So when I say stay tuned, I want to kind of put my logo or something in there. Where do I grab my logo real quick? I go back to a previous project. I say, let's just steal it from a previous project. Double click on that project. I know my logo is here. Control C or Command C. Back to my other project. Go right here. Command V. Done. So now reattach a tab in Chrome after you've already detached it. So stay tuned. There's my logo and my intro thing. Stay tuned, stick around, okay, whatever. Learn my brand. Cross dissolve, you can't see it. Let me see if I can move me out of the way just for a moment. Here, I'll put me up here for now. That's probably a good spot. Hopefully that makes the change on YouTube. All right, so I want to add cross dissolve to this clip on both ends. Well, on one end, and then on the other end, like so. Let me blow it up just a tad. You can see that little gray spot. So now it kind of fades into my logo, right? Now what I can do, okay, so you have a bunch of tabs and you want to move one of the tabs to a... Oh, you know what I forgot to do? The picture-in-picture thing. I'm an idiot. But that's perfect because now we can go back and I can show you how I can make that change. So what I was thinking was I need to go to a picture-in-picture view, and I don't even have it. See the 3 views here? I've got 2 of the same views. I forgot to edit that. So let's go back to the actual views, which the picture-in-picture one we want to edit. So let's go back to my reattach library project. Let's go to picture-in-picture, and here's where the beauty of it is. All I do is double-click on it. It goes to this, and now let's get that set up. I want me, a talking head, inside of this. So what I want to do is I want to transform. Let's blade this. Actually, hopefully this doesn't mess up my multicam edit. If it does, I can quickly redo it, but I don't think it will. So we bladed that so that they're the same. Oh, you know what else I also forgot to do on this particular one is get rid of the audio here. Done. Okay, so we fixed that. Now I want to do picture-in-picture, so let's put this on the bottom. Just drag and drop it right over. Let's transform me by clicking on here. Transform. We can crop or transform. It doesn't matter so much. So you see I can resize myself. Where do we want to put me? In fact, let's go ahead and crop me first, and then we'll transform even more. So we'll click on this and then crop. And let's get rid of just a little bit of my microphone. Yeah, something like that. It's pretty small. I'm out of the way, you know. Okay, we're good. Go back to transform. And let's just move me in my typical bottom right hand spot. Something like that. Done. Hit the back button to go back to my previous project. Now, hopefully, I was hoping that the picture-in-picture would making edits on accident, so I had to Control Z it. I was hoping that the picture-in-picture would actually come over. Oh, and I forgot one more thing that's super, super essential. You see this little audio button? It knows to get the audio from here, and that's it. And then up here, when I make the transitions between picture-in-pictures, between these cameras, these camera angles, if I wanted to just bring the video and keep the audio, you click on this. If I want both, when I click on, say, Sync Mark, it would pick the audio and the video of Mark. When I click on Sync Screen, it would do both. But I only want the video to change, and I want the audio to completely stay the same. However, my picture-in-picture did not work the way that I wanted to. So that's a mistake. That's a live mistake. I thought it would propagate through. So let me think if that's really true or not. So let's go back to my multicam picture-in-picture thing here. And let's see. My Sync Mark, picture-in-picture. The picture-in-picture did not come through. Now that's sad. I really thought it would. So because I just started, I'm literally going to start all over. Like, that's it. So I'm going to actually delete all this. Took me 2 seconds if you really think about it. And all I want to do is just I don't want this multicam anymore. Now, I'm sure there's some way to do this without starting all over, but here's my picture-in-picture. You can see it now, right? So I want this, my sync screen and my sync mark to be a multicam edit. So again, go to new multicam clip. Don't really care what it's called. It's creating that. It's going to tell me I don't have enough space. Cool. Drag this thing down. Now I'm going to work with this. Now, that's cool. All right, I know I can already blade half of this because I know that we just did this mess, right? So let me hit play again. See how fast today we're going to talk about increasing your workflow with a very simple tip that I didn't know about till recently, so I wanted to share it with you. This will be like less than 2-minute video, so watch this video and I'm going to show you how to make your tab life a little easier in Chrome. Oh, I thought that was actually pretty good, and I told myself no, I guess we'll try it again. Welcome back, everybody. Today I am going to show you how to increase your workflow just a little bit. Playing, I can actually edit a little bit by giving you this simple. See, that was no good either. I'm gonna make my timeline a little bit smaller. Welcome back, everybody. No, not welcome back, everybody. I hate welcome back. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to show you a quick tip to increase your workflow just a little bit. There we go. It's a tip I didn't know about, but it's very simple and it's effective, and I wish that I learned it a long time ago. The simple tip that I'm going to show you is how to reattach a tab in Chrome after you've already detached it. So stay tuned. Now, stay tuned. I want to stop it there, put in my logo like I did before. I have some blank space now. Okay, so you have a bunch of tabs and you want to... Now, one thing that I would normally do is I would like to show kind of what I'm going to teach you in like a picture-in-picture or maybe like a pop-up window that says, here's how I'm going to do it. But this is such an easy technique that I don't want to give away the secret within the first 5 seconds because it takes 5 seconds to do. So I want to hold the audience retention a little bit longer by not showing them what the result is right off the bat. So it's kind of a catch, you know, it's a balancing act. You want to capture their attention and your audience, but you also you want to get straight to the point because otherwise they think you're wasting their time, right? So it's a balancing act. All right, so let's go back and grab my little, usually I do this at the end, but I was kind of excited to show you. Go to an old project that's already got my logo, Control C, go back, Control V. You can check the audio, make sure it kind of flows together. Let's put the cross dissolve on both sides of this. Drop that in there, drop that in here. And there's shortcuts, Command T. You could have done the same thing. I've actually already set a certain width of these. You can make them 0.5 seconds, 0.25, 0.75, whatever you want. I defaulted it to, I think, 0.5. All right. So again, we're going to go through. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Now my logo. Okay, so you have right. So there's a problem here. Right now I start off with picture-in-picture. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to show you. So I'm going to go to the beginning. I'm going to click on here, right here. Now we start off with my face. I hit play with the space bar. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to show you a quick tip to go through. Detached it. So go through my logo again. Now watch what I do to edit this workflow. I've got the blade tool up here. Okay, so you have a bunch of tabs and you want to move one of the tabs to a... As you can see, it's already a screen right here, a picture-in-picture screen. So I actually don't want that. So let's do, I'm going to double click here, or I mean right click. I'm going to go back to active video angle and I want to do sync mark. I want me to still be there like that. Then in just a moment, I will switch it. Okay, so you have a bunch of tabs and you want to move one of the tabs to another screen. So now, so here's the situation. You've got, you know, multiple tabs, 15, 16 tabs open, and you want to separate one out. Turns out that was you kind of want to save it for later or put. So in other words, I don't need this screen. So you really should kind of go through it first. Let's see. So here's the situation. you've got, multiple tabs, 15, 16 tabs open, and you want to separate one out because you kind of want to save it for later. So I want this to be my full screen until a second or two after. So here's the situation. You've got, multiple tabs, 15, 16 tabs open, and you want to separate one out because you kind of want to save it for later or put it on a different screen or something of that nature. So what you normally do, and everybody should know how to do this, is you drag the actual tab over to basically anywhere you want. I clicked on it and it changed. So pretend this is a new screen so that you can kind of get the idea. So now I can have my Joe Rogan experience playing with Elon Musk in the background while I do some work over here. That's the idea. But then you're done doing work, but you don't want to lose your tabs. So I want to bring this tab back over to here. The problem is I can't just drag this tab over because, well, actually, there is no problem there. It worked. All right, I thought you needed to have multiple tabs to do that. But either way, did you know you can just drag this tab right back over there, and there you have it. Simple as that. If you do run into problems, which I did earlier, see how I'm switching angles? I had to create a new tab and then bring this tab over like that. Now I'm a little off because it's hard to. You can just place the tab right over that, then you can get rid of this. But if it works the first time like it just did, all the better. It's hard to want to try to talk to you about what I'm doing while trying to get these clips split up just the way I want them, but bring this tab over. You get the idea, like so. Simple as that. You can just place the tab right over that, then you can get rid of this. But if it works the first time like it just did, all the better. Simple tip. I hope that increases your workflow just a little bit every day. Told you this was going to be quick. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos if you find them useful. All right, so that's the end of it. Pretty good. Now let's add some touch-ups to it. I'm going to delete this back end. I also know that I want to grab my ender, so let's go back to this project. I'm going to grab my ender that I already created, which is nice, and I used the MTuber, I think. No, I used Envato Elements for this one. I'm going to grab the music, and I'm going to grab my ender. Let's throw that in there right here. I also like to put a transition in before the ender. So drop this thing over here. You can see how fast this is. So share these videos if you find them useful. There we go. I've got my ender in there. Pretty good. So then what we do is we go back. Let's add a couple subscribe nows. Let's add a couple of other things. I like to actually, I've been starting my videos with this 360 bloom transition right at the very beginning. Maybe make it a little bit longer than the other ones. So Command++ to jump in there. I'm going to make it just a tad longer. I'm going to hit play just to see what it looks like. Welcome back. I'm going to show you. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to show you a quick tip to increase your workflow just a little bit. It's a tip I didn't know about, but it's very simple and it's effective, and I wish that I learned it a long time ago. The simple tip that I'm going to show you is how to reattach a tab in Chrome after you've already detached it. So stay tuned. Simple as that. It's looking, pretty good for about, what, a couple minutes of editing. Not too bad. So here's the situation. You've got, multiple tabs, running 15, through the whole 16 tabs open, and you want to separate one out because you kind of want to save it for later or put it on a different screen or something of that nature. And I hate to bring you guys through this. What you normally do, and everybody should know. Here, I'm going to put my thing over here again. I hate to walk you through this entire thing again, but again, this is live and I'm actually doing this. I'm going to drag the actual tab over to basically anywhere you want, a new window. So pretend this is a new, let's throw a subscribe button in there. Hit my little T for titles, MTuber, I love it. And I should have these pre-set up too, but I don't. So subscribe right here, drag and drop it. I don't care too much where in the timeline I put it, but I do want to move it on my screen to somewhere out of the way a little bit. So like right here, subscribe. Simple as that. Now I don't want to put too many in there, kind of get the idea. So now I can have my Joe Rogan experience playing with Elon Musk. But you can see how it's multicam while I do some work over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I even go, let's go scroll down just a tad. Now I do have a few. If I want to add transitions to all of these, besides my subscribe to. So I click on cross dissolve and I double click on it. Double click, boom. I just added transitions to everything. Now let's go back and take a look. So stay tuned. When you go back and take a look, you should get rid of these three screens because your eyeballs are kind of looking at them and you're not really seeing what the content really is. So Command Shift 7 should get rid of it. Now we're looking at just my final output here, and that's it. So let's run through this one more time. Hey, welcome back. I'm going to show you a quick tip to increase your workflow just a little bit. It's a tip I didn't know about, but it's very simple and it's effective, and I wish that I learned it a long time ago. The simple tip that I'm going to show you is how to reattach a tab in Chrome after you've already detached it. So stay tuned. I mean, you can see what little effort I put into this, and it's really kind of hard to edit and explain what I'm doing to you at the same time. So here's the situation. You've got, multiple tabs, 15, 16 tabs open, and you want to separate one out because you kind of want to save it for later. So at this point, I want to add a zoom effect. And now I can zoom using like transformations or crop, crop in. You can use keyers, but mtuber is another. So this is really nice. mtuber really helps us out. Type in zoom. It gives you a bunch of zoom effects that are simple. So zoom full is what I would use here, and I would drag it down. Right? Let's zoom in on that clip, Command++. And so when I'm talking about something, I kind of want your eyeballs to go to it, right? So I'm going to choose where I want the zoom to be. I'm going to move this thing up to the actual tabs that I'm talking about. And Command 4 will give my inspector, so click on this, and we can actually change some of the properties. Like I want to change the zoom scale. I want to scale in a little bit more. So there we have it. So now let's run that again. Tabs open, and you want to separate one out because you kind of want to save it for later or put it on a different screen or something of that nature. So what you normally do, and everybody should know how to do this, is you drag the actual tab. See how I came into the picture-in-picture just like that without any effort whatsoever over to basically anywhere you want, a new window. So pretend this is a new screen so that you can kind of get the idea. So now I can have my, and of course this is still rendered in the background, so you're not getting the crystal clear quality, but you kind of get the point. My Joe Rogan experience playing with, I use the word Joe Rogan and Elon Musk in this because I know that YouTube actually does auto-analyze my voice and the words that are coming out, and those are really good keywords to have in any video, I would think. This is pure speculation. Elon Musk in the background while I do some work over here. That's the idea. But then you're done. I'm going to make the subscribe button a little bit shorter. If I can figure out how. Grab it right here. See, I knew I was going to do that. I don't want that. I want this. Sometimes it's painful to figure out the simplest things. In fact, all right, we'll start with me just deleting that. I guess that's out. Drop that thing back on there. Normally, all right, so I just wanted it a little bit shorter. Let's go. While I do some work over here. That's the idea. But then you're done doing work, but you don't want to lose your tabs. So I want to bring this tab back over to here. The problem is I can't. Now I could use arrows and fancy little blocks and show, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that. I just drag this tab over because, well, actually, there is no problem there. It worked. I'm glad that it actually worked. I thought you needed to have multiple tabs to do that. By the way, did you know you can just drag this tab right back over there, and there you have it. Simple as that. If you do run into problems, which I did earlier, couldn't do that, I had to create a new tab and then bring this tab over like that. Like so. Simple as that. You can just place the tab right over that, then you can get rid of this. But if it works the first time like it just did, all the better. Simple tip. I hope that increases your workflow just a little bit every day. Told you this was going to be quick. Please like, subscribe, and share these videos if you find them useful. There we have it. That's the entire thing. So that's it. Now, I hate doing thumbnails, so I'm not going to walk you through that, but I'm going to also, since we're live, we'll just continue with this workflow. This is what I do. This is normally how I do it. That is done, right? So now we want to render this. So File, Share, and I always render it to master file. I don't render it directly to YouTube, mostly because I used to do that, and then if there was any type of glitch, it would ruin the whole thing, and you'd have to re-render it. So I'd rather render it than upload it. So I'm going to render it to a master file. And again, when you render these, click on Settings and make sure that you have the quality you want. I want to put it on 3840 by 2160 because 4K might get more views than non-4K in YouTube, and I actually did record this with 4K video, so there's that. Let's go back to info. You have a bunch of, you can actually put tags, and you can actually automate a lot of this on YouTube. All right, so that's gonna be about 414 megabytes. Click on next. I want to go to, again, I want to render in my SSD card as well, because again, if I actually save the video on my MacBook Pro, it would take up probably 100 or 75 gigabytes just to render it, and then it would then delete those temporary files, but still, I don't have 75 gigabytes to work with. So click on rendered, this is where I put it. Notice how this is basically what my YouTube title is going to be, so that saves me a little bit of time. Click on save. This shouldn't take too long at all to render. While it's rendering, you can actually work on another project. You can start something else. You can do all kinds of things. So while that's rendering, let's go to my YouTube channel. I will drag it over here in a second. So we've got YouTube, and I'm already going live right now on this account. So let's see if let's do the test and see if we can upload a video while I'm going live. I bet you can. I don't see why not. So this is my home page. I'm already logged in. This is the wrong channel though. I have multiple channels. So switch account. Good thing I checked that. And so here's all my different accounts. Don't make fun of them too hardcore, but this is the main one where I teach tech and create, show people how to do stuff like this. So, oh, damn it. Well, this live stream was on the wrong channel. Guess that explains a few things. That's hilarious. Anyways, I guess this live stream will work for this channel too. Wow, that just blew my mind. I thought I did a really good job too. And yeah, so anyways, this channel was not meant to be for video editing and things like that, but I accidentally live streamed on the wrong channel and I caught myself just now. So that's kind of a bummer. That's kind of a bummer. I guess I will quit now while I'm ahead. Thanks for listening, everybody. No wonder I had no audience. Oh, that's funny. I'll still upload it, though. Well, I'll upload this video. I didn't record this other one, but YouTube did, so maybe I'll download it and re-upload it. Good laugh. Try it again next time. Take it easy, everybody.